So welcome once again to another film in the series Percy's Progress. We've really had to rethink our whole training programme regarding the little dog. Obviously with this coronavirus situation we're in, we're very limited to where we can go. I am managing obviously to get him out for a walk, but training has become more problematic. So what I've had to do is think about what I'm going to do going forward. So I didn't really want to start this aspect of his training quite at this moment, but what I've decided to do is start on his steadiness proper. You can see from previous videos that I've already started his steadiness with the memory retrieves we did in the previous film. But up until now, the little dog's had every single retrieve I've thrown out. So in effect what I've been doing is throwing retrieves out, just stopping him for a moment before I send him, but he's been allowed to go and get every single retrieve I've sent out. Well, of course, in Gundog terms, I don't want that to happen going forward. I don't want him to think that every single retrieve is for him. So we're going to start this stage of his training now. I've gone back to the place board, and obviously I'm in our garden, so a little bit more restricted, which is fine for this because the area is nice and confined. I'm going to keep him on the lead just to start with, and I'm just going to throw this dummy straight out. You'll have seen from the previous videos he's learnt the word leave it, or the command leave it, and I'm going to reinforce that again now. So I'm going to give him just a little tug on the lead before I throw the dummy out. Leave it. Now up until now he would be expecting to go and get that. But obviously now there's a stage where I'm only going to let him have perhaps one out of every 5 or 6 dummies that I throw out now. I'm going to keep constant look on his body just to see whether he's getting tense, whether he's getting keen to go. But at the moment he's sitting there quite nicely. And this all goes back to the steps I've taken. He's used to sitting on that place board nice and steadily, so that's not unusual for him. He knows what the leave it command is, so that's not unusual for him. And he's used to being told to wait before he goes and gets his retrieve, so that's not unusual for him. But this next stage is the different part, and this is where I've got to watch him very carefully. He's getting a bit distracted by the chickens there. I'm going to tell him to wait, and I'm going to go out and pick the dummy up. I've got 2 key things I've got to watch, is when I move, that doesn't make him go, but also when I bend down to pick the dummy up, that'll be the other trigger point. Wait. Just going to drop the lead. I'm just going to keep my eye on him at this stage. Even when I pick the dummy up, I know where the dummy is, but I'm watching him all the time. Good boy. And again, remember from that previous video, don't overdo your praise when you come back. Good lad. Good boy. Now obviously at this stage I'm throwing the dummy away from him. Just going to give him one more. This time I'm going to introduce that little noise that I use when I've done all the previous retrieves. That's going to just increase the temptation for him to run in. Going to keep that lead nice and loose. Leave it. There you go. Now it was that noise that triggered that. Percy, here. Here. Sit. Sit. Just get him back on the place board. Sit. Good lad. Leave it. Leave it. Again, I'm just going to watch him as I go and pick this dummy up. Good boy. You've constantly got to try and be aware that another little stage in the training may get a different reaction. And it was that noise that he reacted to. I'm going to try him again this time. I'm going to do the noise again. Leave it. Better, good. Wait. Nice eye contact there again. He thinks he's been conditioned over the previous months that he hears that noise, he's going to get a retrieve. Well now, he's not going to. Wait, drop the lead down. Okay, I'm just going to watch him. Come and pick that up. And this time I'm not going to go back to him straight away. I'm just going to reinforce a little bit of steadiness by walking around him. Good boy. Good lad. The next stage on will be actually dropping the lead, so I'm not physically holding on to the lead. What I tend to do, rather than just drop it on the floor, I just tend to drop it over his back. So he still feels like he's on the lead, but obviously he's not attached to me. I'm going to be extra ready this time in case he goes. I'm going to repeat that noise again. Leave it. Now he just started to lean forward there, but actually he corrected himself, which was really nice. Taking my time, and this time I'm not going to go and pick the dummy up straight away. A little bit of a walk around. Good lad. Right, that trigger was my arms that time. Here, good lad. Percy, sit, 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 sit. Good lad. Tested him again, then I came back and I moved my arms, so he actually went on the movement of my arms. So we're going to repeat that this time. Leave it. Leave it. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come around in front of him and I'm going to say leave it and start to move my arms about. I'm really keen on this with the dogs and their steadiness. They've got to get used to arm movements. In the shooting field, there's always going to be people waving their arms around, pointing at birds. Leave it. He just went to go then, so I just moved in to block him. Good boy. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Again, I can just see by his body language he's leaning forward, so I'm going to get ready. I'm just going to go pick this up now. Good boy. Good boy. Sit. That's all real temptation for him, that. And each time we step it up, I add another little trigger in. Trigger was my arms. Started to work on him now, getting used to me waving my arms about. So I'm going to up the temptation a little bit more now. So instead of a dummy, I'm going to use his absolute favourite thing, which is a tennis ball. And again, I'm starting a new exercise. It's a new temptation, so I'm just going to hold on to the lead. Leave it. That was good. Wait. Just give him that little wait command just to reinforce it again. Keeping my eye on him. That was good. Good eye contact again. Good fella. Good boy. And bearing in mind, this is the little dog, you've seen him in the previous video. He's got bags of drive, bags of enthusiasm going out for his retrieves. But because of the steps I've taken, sit, wait, leave it, all those foundations have been put in place, bringing us to where we are now. So again, I'm going to drop the lead, just drop it over his back. Okay, that time I didn't use the leave it command. Wait. Just keeping my eye on him again. Good boy. I'm doing this all in gradual steps. So my next thing, I'll just like these little heel helpers from Active Canine. Just again, it's a smaller lead. And this would be my transition into not having a lead on at all. So I'm just going to sit him up again. Leave it. That's good. And this time, I'm just going to add the temptation a little more. I'm actually going to back off of him a bit this time. So now he's got full rein to run in if he wants. I'm liking the fact he's still looking at me. He's waiting for me to give him a command. Well, of course, that command's not going to come at this time. Just going to clap my hand. I'm just going to pre-warn him. Body change then. You can tell by his ear set, the way his body is. He's not stressed about this at all. It's a new exercise though. Good boy, stay there. Go and pick it up. Don't hurry this, take it nice and slowly. Good lad. Good boy. So obviously for the purposes of showing you the process of steadying Percy. I've kind of rushed through these stages a little bit, and we're not 100% on all of them yet. But the final stage will be, in this section anyway, will be sitting him on the placeboard off the lead with the dummy. So I'm just going to start the first one. I'm not going to make my little brr noise because I'm starting a new exercise with him, so I don't want to get him overly excited. I'm just going to block him, leave it. And notice I'm looking at him all the time. I'm not worried about where that dummy goes. Wait. Just giving that little wait command as I break off. Keeping my eye on him. Picking up the dummy. Good lad. We'll just increase it a little bit more by using that noise now, and I'll block him again. Leave it. That was obviously up in the temptation a little bit more for him. That was good. Wait. These are all early days for him yet. Good lad. Good boy. I'm just going to try something. I'm just going to step away from him this time. Leave it. Making him wait a little bit longer. Now again, he could break as I move, so wait. Good, happy with that. Good lad. So obviously from the early stages there, where I was standing next to him and throwing the dummy away from him, we up the temptation a little bit more now by throwing it in front of him and off to one side. Leave it. Leave it. I'm not watching where the dummy's going, I'm watching where he's going. Good boy, wait. Let's reinforce it again. Keep my eye on him as I pick the dummies up. Back to my place again. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. I'm just going to leave that a little bit longer now before I pick him up. Just watching his body language. Just move forward then, so I just went in and just give him a little verbal correction. That's good, leave it. Just watching him again when I pick that dummy up. Okay, we'll just do one more. Leave it. Leave it. Happy with that. Good boy. Just reinforce my wait command as well while he's sat on there with that temptation out there. That's good, I'm happy with that. Good boy, wait. And finally, I'm going to push my luck on this one. I'm just going to introduce my little noise again. Leave it. See his ears lift then, that's far more tempting for him. Introduce my arms again. Good boy. Wait. He just moved on that movement of my arms then, so timing was good. He didn't come off the board, I just stopped him. You need patience when you're doing this. And don't overdo it too much. The other thing that's really important is you've got to get a dog that's really keen on retrieving before you start any of this steadiness. Because obviously what you're doing, you're now restricting them and you don't want to take any of that drive out of them. If you've got a dog that's not really keen on his retrieving, then this can take that drive out of their desire to go and get those dummies all together. I'm really happy with that. Good. Again, nice eye contact. He's just watching me in case I give him a command. Wait, just to finish off, a couple of tennis balls here. Again, don't forget these are his favourite things. Leave it, leave it, leave it. Oh, I'm very happy with that. Very happy. Good boy. Good lad. Good. So that's going to be my job over the next few weeks of confinement due to the virus, and hopefully we'll keep making some progress.